Hello, everybody. Just I was asked by Suzanne to do a story for this term, and I thought the only way I could probably do that is rather than writing it down, would be to record it. So if you can bear with me, I might hopefully it won't take long. Just a bit about me and the reasons why I was probably asked to do a singer story this term. Many other terms I could have done stories. I had a cold-faced manner as a dad. I had lots of relation to the sea, so for the first term, things like that. I could have probably done a singer story. For me, I've been fascinated watching, reading the other stories of everybody else. So this one is my chance, really. I know you probably hear a lot about me, but or I say a lot and explain a lot about things. But yeah, anyway, stop waffling on. My story is around everything about being kind to people, equality, inclusion, regardless. Sorry, my power's just going around there. Regardless of anything, like. If you're a nice person, you're a nice person. If you're not a nice person, you're not a nice person. It's very simple. It's nothing to do with your colour or creed or orientation, sexual orientation or anything like that. And what I try and do, I try and include everybody, and make sure everybody has a chance to be involved if they want to be involved. If not, that the person can move away or still have the option. So it's a bit of a strange one because I'm at a place now. I thought the only place to do this would be at the lighthouse, and that probably is where most of my strength comes from. I suppose I've always been a kind person. I hear stories. I get messages from people from school who's obviously a lot older now, and they message me and say thank you for acts of kindness that I did at school. Yeah, for always supporting them, or if they were getting bullied, I'd run across the street and stop them from being bullied. I wouldn't have to do much. Just probably take a few punches myself, but at least it meant that person was going to be all right. So they thank me now, and all these years later, and people in the supermarket come up to me and say, well, you did this and you did that, and I'm like, yeah, I probably did, but that was just me as a person, why would I not do that? A couple of people whose lives I saved, one in particular thanks me every time, more or less, and that's just me. It's what I do, and I suppose that's probably what I say a lot. It's just me, and I do like to be kind. I do like to help other people. Certainly, I don't like to see people struggle. So yeah, the reason for the lighthouse, the reason why I'm here on a rainy Friday evening, is the day before my dad passed away. For you who know, my dad had a broken neck from me being 4 years old, so I never really had a father figure, should I say. I had my mum, is absolutely phenomenal, and I was one of three living with my mum, and my dad had a broken neck. So from 4 years old to 1979, my dad had a broken neck. Whilst my mum was visiting hospitals and backwards and forwards, I had a really good support network from my mum's sister and family and stuff. So the love was always there. I never really had a father figure, in the sense of a guy walking around, a guy taking me places, like family holidays, all that sort of stuff. And I remember a lot of sadness in the house, obviously around my dad's unhappiness about having such a tragic injury, but then obviously it transferred into the family. Not that my mum would allow that to alter any of the feelings that I would get, because I was more than cared for and loved and adored, and that bond is still there now with me and my mum. She's my best friend, So yeah, back to the lighthouse. Blimey, I keep moving on, but just bear with me. And so the day before my dad passed away, he asked my son Jacob to draw a picture of a lighthouse. So Jacob's 3 years old at the time, and Jacob said, "Granddad, I can't draw a lighthouse. I can't do this." And he said, "You can't anyone draw a lighthouse. It's easy." he then said to my mum, "Oh, pass me a pen and a bit of paper." So my dad then proceeded to draw not the greatest drawing in the world, obviously, but bearing in mind the guy's tetraplegic, he drew a lighthouse, which Jacob then went, "Oh, that's what you mean." Jacob then drew a better lighthouse. "Grandad, I've drawn a better lighthouse, and it had rocks on and had a little windows, and oh, you can imagine the power in the room that day." Unbeknown to me, that was probably one of the most remarkable times that I had with my dad. I will apologise if I cry. I think a few of you know that I do anyway. But this was so like enlightening that from my dad passed away the next day anyway, and left me a lot of signs. But just as I left that day, I remember my dad saying something really special to me. He said, "You're always," he said, "find your lighthouse, son." And I said, "What are you on about?" And he said, "You need to find your lighthouse, because your lighthouse, you're always being the lighthouse. So everyone's looking at you for help." So this is 11 years ago. So people think this is a new thing. I'm helping people now and creating things now. But my dad had said that then, so I didn't really know what he meant. He said, "You're always around saving everybody else. You're always looking to help everybody else." And here we are, So I'm just checking, we're getting done by the parking people. I'm okay where I am, but yeah. So my dad said about the lighthouse. He said, "You're always trying to help everybody else, and you need to find your lighthouse. You need to find your salvation. You need to find your harbour." Anyway, I left. And I said, "You're getting soft in your old age, you lad." And that was the last time I spoke to him. Yeah. So, whew, yeah. It was lovely. It was a lovely way to end anyway. It was a lovely way to end mine and my dad's relationship. In fact, it was the last time I actually saw my dad. Not the last time I spoke to him, last time I actually saw my dad. So the following week, it was away with my dad's funeral, and busy sorting through a lot of that. And I did my dad's eulogy. I also carried my dad in. I was one of my dad's pallbearers. I couldn't have been a prouder guy. Me and my dad didn't see eye for the long time, but for those last 4 years, or Jacob's first 3-4 years, we had a mid quartet. It was me, my mum, Jacob, and my dad. We were like a really good quartet, and yeah, in my eyes, we made up for all the times that we weren't friends. It was great. So yeah. So anyway, I took the lighthouse theme in my head, and it sort of parked it for a bit while I tried to get over a lot of things. Because previously, 2 months before that, I got the all clear for having a small brush with cancer, which my mum had identified, and not many of you know, but I have this, and so yeah, I've got a little bit of ear missing, so I've got no lobby part, that bit there. Yeah, so I haven't got one on that side. It was a bigger ear anyway, so I think it's levelled them out, possibly. A special fin. So yeah, so moving on through the years, lots of other things happened, lots of other things going on. I was unfortunately in a unhappy relationship. For whatever reason, things changed, life changed. Things changed, which grew apart in many ways, and but in the back of all this, I got to 38-year-old, and I decided at 20-odd stone, I would do something about it. I had a horrific nightmare, a really, really horrific nightmare where I was saying goodbye to everybody, and people were waiting to speak to me and stuff and say goodbye, and it's just horrendous. Anyway, I woke up floods of tears, real tears, crying my eyes out. I cried for 2.5 hours, 3 hours. And decided that was the day. That was the day at 38-year-old I was going to live the rest of my life. I was going to live however long that would be. I would do even more. I would do more stuff. I would get fitter. I would be stronger. I'd be mentally stronger. I would, if I needed to take time out, I would take time out. But all in all, I was so determined, so positive to make the most of the chance, because I thought I was going to die in the dream. It really, really, it was so real. It's still my motivation to this day. So yeah, I decided to obviously get fit and everything, and and I then got the doors kept opening, and I got into acting, singing and acting and everything. So what I decided last year when I was walking along the beach, with what we now all now know, or a lot of people now know is with the black dog, this little dog of depression, and we have a little logo here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but yeah, this is something that I've known for a long time. I do a lot of studying and research, just little bits, not too much, on people and how can help people. And black dog was always one of the things I heard about years ago, and I decided to chance something and just said, I fancy setting up a little bit of a group where we can people can help people on Facebook, social media. Social media is full of negativity, so I decided to create this this group, and I named it "Be Kind, Always." So like it's just like be kind, always. It's difficult to be kind always, because sometimes, under provocation, it's not as easy as just saying, "Oh, be kind," all the time. Because sometimes you think, I'd rather walk away from that. Maybe that's your form of being kind. And I'm not saying I am always kind. There are probably times when I've been deemed as not being kind, and for that I apologise, because it's never my intention. And if I have overlooked anything, sorry, I really am. And I will apologise to you in person if I've upset you. But yeah, so I set up this group, and not knowing what to expect, maybe 5 or 6 people might join up. Within a short space of time, there was a few hundred people, and it just grew and grew. And people came in the group, people left the group. We left with some real tough things came into the group. People really reaching out, and what tended to happen after a short while was people started responding. Instead of me answering people's cries for help, or calls for help, or calls for aid, calls for support, other people were doing it. So like, I would step away from the group a little bit and then come back, and everybody else was doing what I was trying to do, or what I was hoping to do. I was like, whoa, wow, I stepped away from that, boy. That's amazing. So yeah, so that's a bit of a thing, and the groups obviously went from strength to strength. There's a lot of lovely posts in there. I get a lot of messages outside of the group about how it's helped somebody, how it's and one guy said to me, "You've got me out of bed and you've saved my life." One guy messaged that, and that was like, yeah, okay, I didn't expect that, but job done. One person, one act of kindness, one person. You kind of tell me how much that just made me feel about that group was the right decision, And then I was approached by Mark for this term of Sing United, always on my mind, and he said I want to incorporate Be Kind Always with regards to the topic. And always on my mind is about mental health and mental health awareness and support, and highlighting how people are in themselves. Because I hear a lot of things are saying, "Oh, everyone's got depression, everyone's got anxiety, everyone's got this." Have they really? Have we all? Do we all? Possibly. I don't know. We've all got different levels and different degrees of life experiences hitting us. Some people don't want to wake up. Some people do want to wake up. Some people they get up and they're like, "Woohoo, I'm going." And some people are like, "Not today." And all I can say to that is, like, if you don't want to get up, have a lie in, but push to get up. If not, message somebody, message me. And I'm not sure how this singer story is going. It's been a little while, so I'm probably going to end at that and just say, like, it is about that. It's okay not to be okay. It's becoming a little bit of a cliche now. It's becoming a bit of a thing where people's throwing it away. It's a bit like saying someone's got like this and someone's. But it is okay to just have a day, not a good day, not a bad day, just have a day, get through the day, go to sleep, get up in the morning, reboot, and be kind to yourself, and think about the good things that you do. Think about my views, like I really want at the moment, so that's why I keep looking over. But have a think about how good you are, the good things you've done. If it feels like you haven't done anything good the last few days, think about when you last did something. And there's lots of great stuff. People's doing lots of great things, man. The amount of times I hear people say, oh, I amount to nothing. I don't do anything. I haven't achieved anything. I don't do this. You're doing so much, Steve. You achieve loads. And then I ask them about different things, and they go, oh, I didn't realise I did that. I didn't realise I was that type of person. I didn't realise I achieved that, or did that, or completed that. People's really like so down on themselves, and life's tough enough as it is, you know. Life's tough enough as it is without putting yourself down, you know. I think there's enough people around to do that, and enough negativity around in media and social media that you don't need to, you know. You like you don't need to put yourself down. More pull yourself up, you know. Try and get that mental strength to. Oh, actually, I am a good person. I'm a good mum, brother, sister, uncle, granddad, wife, husband, whatever, partner, friend, confidant. It's amazing, and well, yeah, I'll end this now with just a thank you and a much love to you all. Continued friendship from a singer-nighter point of view, and to everybody who reads this from a singer stories point of view, much love to you too. If you are a singer-nighter follower, thank you. Look forward to entertaining or being part of a big group that's going to entertain. If you were at any of this gig or the last ones or the ones coming up in the future, and they say be kind always, and not just to other people, you know, to yourself especially. You do matter. You are an important person. You might not think it to yourself, but to some person, might even only be one person. And I always say, if you've got one person that loves you or really relies on you or thinks highly of you or likes the smell of you, you're important. That means you're important. You don't have to have millions of people you don't have to have adulation. You don't have to have thousands of people following you and people following you on Instagram and Twitter and whatever. If you've got one person, that's enough. Seriously, you're blessed if you've got one. So think on and keep loving yourself, and if you ever need a hug, I'm your man. Take care. Bye-bye.